Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Fanttik X9 Ace mini bike pump. Electric bike inflators are a growing segment of the bicycle accessory market and offer a convenient way to inflate tires without the need for a floor pump. The Fanttik X9 Ace takes the brand's extensive experience with car tire inflators and applies it to a smaller form factor that's better suited for cycling. As you can see, the packaging is very simple. You have the Fanttik logo printed right here in the bright yellow, a nice gray background, and basic branding on here. Some of the information and specs are printed on the back, along with a basic sticker that shows which one we have. I'll go ahead and take this out of the box and we'll go over the specs. So retail price on this is about $60, so it's $59.97. It is on sale right now for about $49.97. It has a 150 PSI maximum, which is really high, considering most tires don't really go above 80 or 90 these days. It has a digital gauge, which is nice, so you can actually see the current inflation pressure and the desired one on a nice high-resolution screen. It has a Presta and Schrader valve compatibility with a nice reversible head. And the inflator head itself is fully rotatable, so you can see 360 degrees around the body and then 360 degrees around the little rubber extension. It also has a 5,000 milliamp battery, which is why it's on the larger size for a little tire pump, and gives you up to 12 tires if they're 700 by 23, so you can inflate quite a few before having to recharge it. In terms of what comes with it, obviously you can see the pump. You have some safety information here that shows you how to use the head. The instruction manual, which is really simple. It's a very simple user interface. And then on the bottom here, we also have some of the additional charging cables as well. So it's USB Type-C, which is really nice. We have a simple USB Type-C to USB-A connector, and that's about it. Now let's take a look at the weight of the pump. So the pump by itself comes in at 386 grams. While the Fanttik X9 Ace is one of Fanttik's smaller inflators, actually pretty big compared to other bike inflators we've reviewed. It's about 4 inches tall by 2.5 by 1.5, which technically still fits in your palm, but is a lot larger than you'd want for something thin in your jersey pocket. The pump has a rectangular profile, and you can see nice rounded corners, and a slightly textured black body. Makes it really easy to hold, as it has nice curved edges. And then you can see you have big branding on here, Fanttik in the yellow color. And then a little sticker here that's actually removable that shows you how to use the reversible head, and then additional safety information here. You have this strip of glossy plastic running down the center, and you can see it has the power button, the up and down buttons, and when you turn this on with a long hold, you can see you even have the gauge. Looks a little flickery on camera, but you can see it shows you the current pressure, and then you can adjust it up and down. There's also a little battery status indicator here, so white indicates above 50%. Then it'll go orange and red as you go below that. So pretty simple. The gauge itself has a nice 3-digit LCD display. So you can see if I can go all the way up, it has an additional 1 character on the left. It goes all the way up to 150 PSI, which again is far too much for any bike. You're definitely going to blow your tires, so don't go quite that high. It's only shown in PSI, so you can see the PSI in the bottom right. And what's interesting is you can't actually change that, so there is no bar display, which seems like a really easy upgrade. They could have put it on the left side, and then a 2-button hold to activate that like you have on the other pumps. Instead, it's PSI only. A long hold on the up and down will do a fast adjustment. Single press will adjust, and then pressing the power button will activate it up to that pressure. So you can hear it's still quite loud, and you do have this nice venting on the top and bottom, so you don't have to worry about covering anything when you're actually using it. One of the coolest features about this, though, is the inflator head. So you can see it's attached to the side of the body. It's rotatable 360 degrees. And then attached to that, you have this little flexible rubber extender, and then the actual head. So this has a little bit of a 45-degree angle. And again, this rotates, so you can really adjust this to get about any angle you want. And because this pump is bigger, it's nice to have this little extension so you can get in between the spokes and not have to worry about fitting this. The head itself is also really cool, so you can see it's rotatable, and then you can switch between Schrader and the Presta. So you simply rotate this off the main body, and instead of using separate adapter pieces, it's all built into one. So you can see I can swap this in from one side to another. And then that's it. So once you have that set up, then you can use the other valve. They don't include any other adapters. This is all you get. So it's more bike specific. But I really like the fact that there's no additional parts. Everything's built into one. So you definitely won't lose this as it's always attached to the pump. Now let's take a look at the pump in action. Here we have it on our Presta valve. So you just twist it onto the valve. And once it bottoms out, it has a nice airtight seal and you can start pumping. So it's very easy to do, and with this flexible head, you can see you can really get in there. So even though the pump itself is a little bit larger, it has a nice extension to it, so you can always access things. Once you select the desired pressure, you simply press the on button, and then it'll automatically keep going until it hits that maximum value. So you can see if you don't have a perfect seal, it'll kind of drop down. But once you have a complete tight, it goes up pretty quickly. It's still a little bit slower than a floor pump, but with its larger size, it works better than the CYCPLUS or Flextail as it's more powerful. The best thing about this pump though is the fact that it's very easy to switch. So if you have a mountain bike or something else with a different valve style, you can see we're just twisting it off and then screwing it back on. So very easy, you don't have additional parts, and makes it easy to switch between multiple bikes without having to keep track of things. So again, that little valve head is really nice, so fully rotatable. So again, you just rotate it on. Once you get a seal on there, it should actually display the current pressure, and then you can adjust the value. It's pretty glossy here on camera, so it's hard to see the actual display, but in person it's really nice. It still is glossy, but it has a nice high contrast display. Then you simply turn it on again and it'll inflate pretty quickly. What's great about this, it even has auto off, so you just turn it on and walk away, and you can do other things to prep the bike for riding. Here we have all the typical options for inflating your tires. You have your CO2 canister. It's a lot more portable, lightweight, and you can see the Fanttik is about 2 or 3 of these in terms of size. The nice thing about CO2 is one-time use. You can simply throw it in your bag and forget it, while the Fanttik is a lot bigger. But with the canisters, once you use it, you lose it, and they will lose pressure over time, so once you puncture it, you do have to use it within a certain time range. The more standard option is a hand pump. This is the Rody DAG from Topeak. Goes up to 120 PSI, but like a lot of mini pumps, you need a lot of muscles to get to that 120 PSI. So the nice thing about the electric one is you can hit that 100 PSI or even 80 to 91 pretty easily without having to be suffering on the side of the road. Nice thing about the hand pump is though, there's no battery. You don't have to worry about CO2. It's always available, so it's always good to have as backup. The more apt comparison here are the CYCPLUS AS2 models. Then the Flextail. So these are the really mini hand pumps. These are what I'd call palm size. So you can see really tiny, while this one is about double the size. So you can essentially put 2 of these here, and you can see they're even larger in every single dimension. So this one fits about the shadow of the larger one. The nice thing about the Fanttik is obviously it's bigger battery. You don't have to charge as often, but not something you'd want to take on a ride. CYCPLUS even has a gauge though, which is nice. So with the AS2 Pro variations, you can see you can actually do PSI or bar, which is something I'm surprised they don't have on the Fanttik. You just hold both buttons. This one only goes up to 120, which is really all you need. Most modern bikes are probably 80 to 90 anyways. You can see simple high resolution display. And when I turn it on, it's a little bit louder than this one, but they're both kind of obnoxiously loud. Nice thing about the Fanttik, it's bigger again, so bigger battery. You don't really have to recharge it that often, but the CYCPLUS is a lot more portable, as it is actually the size of a CO2, while the Fanttik is about double or triple that size. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the X9 Ace. What I like about it is you have long run times. It's a nice large battery, so you don't have to constantly charge it. It also has a reversible nozzle head for the Presta and Schrader valve switching. And that means you don't have any additional parts to keep track of. It's all installed and you just simply reverse it. It also has an easy to read digital gauge, so you know exactly what pressure you're at and how much is left. The main cons for this pump is the fact that it only displays in PSI, so you can't switch to a bar display. Also, the battery indicator is a little bit confusing as it switches between white, red, and orange. Would have been nice if they just had a more traditional gauge on the display itself. Taking everything into account would give the pump a 9.0 out of 10. It's portable and powerful, and a great alternative to a floor pump for traveling or in-home use.